blessings with your songs, praise team, and then also the hymns that have been going out to prayers to the deacons, to the ministers, all the officers and leaders of this church. God bless you, and we thank you for all that you are doing. To our guests, we thank you for joining us today. We know you could have went anywhere else, but God sent you here. We don't take that for granted. For just a few minutes, if you would go into the book of Galatians, chapter 5. On that verse 1. Be reading from the NRSV. For the freedom Christ has set us free. Stand firm, therefore, and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. Listen, I, Paul, am telling you that if you let yourself be circumcised, Christ will be of no benefit to you. Once again, I testify to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the entire law. You who want to be justified by the law have cut yourselves off from Christ. You have fallen away from grace. You may be seated. Oh, Father God, we thank you for this day, God. First of all, that you set aside to worship you. We come for no other reason than to praise your holy name. God, as we're preparing our hearts and minds for other festivities that's going on, God, we can't do that without sufficiently honoring and worshiping you today. So God, we thank you for those who have come. Ask you, God, to bless them as only as you can. For I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I that live, but Christ who lives in me. In the life I live in the flesh, I live by faith through the Son of God who loved me and delivered himself up for me. God, I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O God, my rock, my strength, and my redeemer. Amen. 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 I won't be long because I know some of y'all been saluting the sun up and sun down. So I'm just saluting. I ain't waiting for the sun down, so you can go in there. I won't be long, I promise. Amen. Amen. The topic of my sermon is give me liberty or give me death. That's a popular quotation that's attributed to a man by the name of Patrick Henry from a speech that he made at Second Virginia Commonwealth Convention on March 23rd, 1775. There at St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, our nation would be celebrating its independence from Great Britain, which occurred in 1776. But in our text today, Paul writes, which echoed what Patrick Henry stated back in 1775. At the time of this text, Paul is writing back to the Galatians on their teachings of law and grace. Because in verse 1, Paul said, stand fast, therefore, in your liberty, wherewith Christ has made us free. We are to stand in the liberty that Christ has given us. Paul wants us to know that our liberty was not found in what was written, but in what Christ has done for us on the cross. Paul is saying, hold on to. He says, be rooted, don't let go, don't slip. Be grounded in the freedom that Christ has given each and every one of us. His text is loaded with a lot of principles. Paul is saying that oftentimes, even though we've been liberated by the blood-stained banner of Jesus Christ, we've allowed ourselves to get entangled by our own traditions. We've been allowed ourselves to get entangled and strange and ensnared in the things that Jesus never intended to take hold of our life. And once your liberty has been endangered, once your liberty has been entangled, once it has been ensnared, you lose the very thing that Christ gave his life for. He gave his life that you would have freedom, not that you would be chained down. Paul says that you and I ought to stand firm on the things that we have been delivered from. He says you've been delivered from that. Why go back to what you've been delivered from? First thing he says we need to do is shun slavery to the law. That's there in verse number 1. He says, for freedom Christ has set us free. Stand firm. He says, don't be ensnared, don't be entangled, don't get hooked up, don't get caught up in the yoke of bondage. Paul wants them to understand that you can get circumcised, you can get baptized, but those things really are not the critical foundational piece of what we believe in. He says, don't you put so much weight in things that has nothing to do with the freedom that we have been connected to in Jesus Christ. Paul is saying that too many times we have become so dependent on the law and on our traditions that we're indebted to the law. Paul says that as a result, you've fallen from grace. Paul is saying that we become so caught up in our rituals, what time you got to be there, what you got to have on when you get there, how you got to look, you got to know the hour, thou shalt not talk. Paul says that ain't what Jesus Christ gave his life for. Yes, rules are needed. Yes, but he says don't put the rules above the grace that you and I found in our salvation. Traditions are good. We need those routines of worship are very good. But he says I don't want that to interfere with relationship. Christ didn't come to die for rules. He gave his life so that we'll all have a relationship. Yes, we got to have rules. Yes, traditions are good, but don't you let none of that be prioritized over what Christ has done for you and I. He says the same grace that it took to save you is the same grace it's going to take to save somebody else. So don't you put something on you, on somebody else that Christ didn't put on you. Whatever you do, don't you let rules, don't you let me be able not to hold an E flat, keep me from singing in the choir. Don't you let just because I don't have a six-pack anymore, keep me from being on usher board, Sister Foster. Whatever you do, Sister Foster, accept me for who I am. Don't look at what I look like on the outside, because God says he looks at the heart. And God said when your heart is right, you got a lot of folks living good, they're going to bust hell straight open. But God says I look at the heart of man, the things that people can't see. God said we become so far removed. If you got a hat on, you can sit up front. If you ain't got a hat on, you have to sit in the back. That ain't got nothing to do with salvation. Folks gonna be looking good in hell. I'm telling you what, it's found in St. Luke 17, where the rich man found himself in hell. Yeah. We're going to be in a time when we should be looking for the miraculous, for signs and wonders to see if somebody's been saved. Just the fact they are committing themselves to God. You let their salvation be between them and God. Don't you try to dictate where somebody's relationship is at with God. That's none of your business. It ain't your business to worry about if they were baptized right and who baptized them and where were they baptized. Well, whether or not you wear pants. I know it's going to get quiet right there. Somebody just walked out of church. And don't you get caught up on whether or not they wear makeup. Some of y'all need makeup. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it. Brother LeMay, I didn't mean it like that. You got my back? He got me back. Thank God for the makeup. It's not about whether you wear the makeup. It's not about how many times you read your Bible every day. It's not about how often you fast. It's not about how you deal with your problem. We become so entangled in stuff that really has nothing to do with somebody getting saved or not. That's why so many people don't want to be a part of the church, because we are too worried about all of the stuff that really has nothing to do with salvation. We get so rules and routine oriented that people have to know all the thou shalls and thou shalt nots. For instance, did you know when you're supposed to enter an exit worship? Do you got to hold your finger up when you leave church? And we don't even know where that started from. Do you come in? Can you stand when they praying? Can you stand with the script? We get so caught up and then we'll roll our eyes because somebody else ain't doing it like we're doing it. Maybe we ain't took time to tell them why we do what we do. Or maybe you don't know why we do what we do. So you ain't telling somebody else. So you just doing what you see somebody else do. Do you know? Do you know how to turn and walk around without being a distraction? That ain't got nothing to do with folks being saved. we've done is started to base authentic salvation on how somebody operates externally instead of what their life is like internally. Paul is saying what's happening is that you become enslaved to laws and rules and traditions. First Sunday, I got to sing old hymn. Don't sing praise and worship on first Sunday because that just ain't tradition. We got to do it this way. Y'all looking at me awfully strange, but that's okay. We get so caught up in how churches open up. Do the deacons have to start us off in devotion, or can praise and worship start us off in devotion? Show me in the Bible. We become enslaved to rules, laws, and tradition. And Paul is saying, you're enslaving yourself to something that you have been cut free of. Christianity is not about following a book of rules or rituals. If you and I are saved based on what we can observe from the book, then nobody will ever be saved. Because all of us break the law sometimes. All of us come short. Because the Bible says we've all come short of the glory of God. So can't none of us be saved by keeping all of the law. None of us would be. So he says you ain't saved based on how many laws you can keep. Paul says in Ephesians 2:8 and 9 that it is by grace ye are saved through faith. That not of yourself, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Ain't none of us got nothing to boast about. As a matter of fact, ain't none of us worthy to be saved but the blood of Jesus Christ. It's amazing how many times people think that baptism means you've been saved. No. People are so confused when it comes to baptism. They think, whose name should you be baptized in? Is baptism necessary for salvation? Are we wrong for baptizing once a month? Only having communion once a month? I'm so tied up in rituals in the work of the law that you forgot that going down in the water does not save you. The old preacher would say it like this. You'll go down a wet devil and go down a dry devil and come up a wet devil. Baptism does not save you. It does not wash your sins away. You're baptized for the remissions of your sins. Because after you get baptized, you're going to have some more sins. And if you have to be baptized every time you sin, there will never be time to preach. Because y'all will be dunking me. Because I don't get it right all the time. This means every day folks will be getting baptized. You are saved by your faith, and that's a gift of God. 1 John 1 and 9 says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. And we got to stop making our faith about what somebody wears, what they don't have on. Now there are some things you ought not wear. There are. Y'all backed up off me on that. Some stuff you ought not wear to church. But we shouldn't be looking at you. Matter of fact, we'll let somebody deal with that person who can deal with that person and tell them what they shouldn't wear. Because sometimes all of us run into somebody telling them what they ought not wear, probably wearing something we ought not be wearing. I like this because too many times we get caught up in what folks look like. God looks on the inside. He's the only one that knows our heart. What you and I have to do is stop making faith so difficult. We've got to stop being sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed. That's why people don't want to deal with us no more. Because we want folks to be perfect. It ain't nobody perfect. You got to make room to be able to deal with everybody. You got to be able to talk with everybody. Relationship has to be above your rules. You got to realize you don't work to get saved. The work is the evidence that you are saved. Can I say that again? That's why when things ain't going right, the praise team can keep singing. Because they ain't doing it to show off their works and their gifts. They're doing it as evidence they've been saved. When the choir is singing, they ain't singing because to show you how good they are. But they do it as evidence that they are saved. See, so many times we get that thing mixed up. We think the more work we do, it means that I'm saved. But that don't mean nothing if it ain't coming from the heart. Your works ought to be about showing that Keep paying them, though. Keep paying them. But you can't pay enough tithes to get saved. You can't pray enough. You can't serve enough to be served. It's a gift from God. You and I don't deserve it. So every time I get to come into the house and I realize how good God has been to me, that's reason enough for me to want to give God my very best praise, because I don't deserve to be saved. He didn't have to send his son to hang down the cross for me. And when I realized what love is all about, that he hung there all day Friday, he stayed there all Friday night, stayed there all Saturday night. But the Bible says early Sunday morning he got up with all power in his head. When I come to this place, I come here to ask you for, because I ain't been good all week. I couldn't save myself. I couldn't do it by myself. I can't help but to make some noise when I come into the house of worship. Don't you know God is good? Ain't God been good to somebody the other day? Haven't he made a way? Haven't he brought you from a mighty long way? Haven't he been protecting you? Ain't he been providing for you? Won't God continue to bless you? So when I fall short, please be patient with me. God is not done with me yet. When God gets through with me, I shall come forth as pure gold.